We'll have Congressman come on up. Congressman.
Mr. Townsend. I'll go.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we're going to... Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you very much. Hey, buddy. Thank you all so much for allowing me to interrupt this way. But I hope it was explained to you that the speaker called a leadership meeting right at the time we were supposed to start here. And it's all about whether or not we are going to get a health care bill that all of us can be proud of. And after that meeting, because of some contentiousness, now we're going to have a full caucus meeting that starts at 3. And so I'm coming in to thank all of you for your interest in this very, very important subject, and I'll have to run back out for that meeting. Let me say a couple of things to you, though. During the negotiations for the ARRA, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, commonly known as the stimulus, a great debate broke out in our caucus over this whole issue of broadband. When the bill left the House, we worked hard to have equal 50-50. It was $5 billion. We got $2.5 billion to go to Commerce, another $2.5 billion. We wanted to go to the Department of Agriculture. Now, when the bill came back from the Senate, $7.2 billion was in there, all going to Commerce. Now, some of us had a problem with that. And I want to just explain to you why. Now, a lot of people, when they talk about the African American community, you know the first thing they say, what we need is an urban policy. And that's a euphemism for the African American community. Well, I'm from South Carolina. And there are a lot of members, over 40% of the Congressional Black Caucus members are from the South. And there's no place, though I may think Columbia and Charleston, Orangeburg and Florence are not rural. Most of y'all think it is. And technically, quite frankly, most of it is. Now, the bill, we jumped up and down in the conference. And now you got $2.5 billion there for back in there for agriculture and the rest at Commerce. Now, here's the deal, and I want to tell you a little story now to make my point. I grew up in the town of Sumter, just about 22 miles from Somerton. Somerton is the little county seat of Clarendon County. That's where Brown versus Board of Education started out. Now, a lot of people think, when you look at the history books and look at Brown being from Kansas, the fact of the matter is the case started out as Briggs v. Elliott, the very first case filed in Somerton, South Carolina. It was all about Scotch Branch High School. Scotch Branch High School is still there today. I try to go there as often as I can, and as I did last March. When I went there, Scotch Branch High School last March, they brought the whole school district into the gymnasium, starting with the kindergarten all the way through 12. And I spent the morning with them. A little 4-year-old girl got up to do a poem, Langston Hughes' poem, and it just blew everybody away, 4 years old. I turned to the superintendent sitting next to me, and I said, you know, this is incredible. How connected are these families? She says, we just finished the survey, about 35%. And I'm saying, wait a minute. Here we are, 55 years after Brown, in the school where it all started, and you're telling me that 65% of these kids are not connected to the internet at all. Now, it's a little bit like the health care we're trying to do. And the big fight we got now is, yes, you can make it accessible, but the question is it affordable? And we have done what is necessary to make broadband accessible to these communities. But the adoption rates are of such, I think it right now in the African-American community across the country is like 46%. Now, if more than half of our households are in fact connected to all of the $7.3 billion we got there, and there are going to be more billions, the question is, what do we do? Do we just wait for this to go and lose another generation? I don't think so. I think that this session, I want to thank Donna for putting it all together, and I thank you all so much for being here. We have got to take steps immediately, because if we allow these communities to get locked out, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to happen just as it did in 1930, 31, 32. The last time we had a stock market crash in 1929, Franklin Roosevelt went out to do the things that were necessary to stand the economy back up. The economy got stood back up. And you hear a lot of people talking about how great Franklin Roosevelt was. You have never heard Jim Clyburn say that, simply because I know what they did when they put the rules together to stand the economy back up. Throughout the South, our forebears lost land like mad because though the land was granted to white Americans, especially Indian language, go do your research, you'll see it. And so my point is, as we go through this recovery, we've got to make sure that this time the recovery will not leave these children out. Because when this economy gets to humming again, and those kids in Clarendon County, South Carolina, are still locked out of the internet, don't have access to broadband, this economy is going to take off, and they are going to be left behind again. That's what I spend my time with every day. Even the new health care plan is not going to work unless health IT, health information technology, is effective. You're not going to connect community health centers to hospital units without health IT. So what you all are doing here today is more than about entertainment. I love my entertainers.
Thank you.
I used to try to be one. Yeah. I used to call myself a thespian. I've done A Raisin in the Sun. I've done The Rainmaker. I did Our Town. Y'all didn't know that about me.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
I was the stage manager in Our Town, so I know how to do this. I was best actor of the year at South Carolina State. So I know how to do all that. And I played the clarinet and the alto saxophone for 8 years. I know how to do all of that. But all of that is in my past. What's in my future is connecting households to health centers, children to education, African Americans to the world at large. Thank you so much.